Every human being, no matter where they are born or what life they live, will meet problems. This is a truth we cannot escape. Problems arrive in many forms: illness, loss, financial struggles, broken relationships, or even the small daily challenges that test our patience. Yet the way we respond to them defines the quality of our lives. Many people become afraid of problems. They see them as enemies. They run from them, or they allow problems to crush their spirit. But if we can learn not to be afraid of problems, we will find that problems are not the end of our strength, but the beginning of our growth. Fear of problems often comes from misunderstanding. We believe that if a problem appears, it means something is wrong with us, or that we are unlucky, or that we cannot handle life. But problems are not signs of weakness. They are signs that we are alive, that we are moving, that we are engaged with the real world. Imagine a life without problems at all. It would be a life without growth, without learning, without new possibilities. The greatest minds, the greatest leaders, and the most compassionate hearts in history were all shaped through the problems they faced. If they had run away, we would never know their names. The first step to not being afraid of problems is to see them clearly for what they are. A problem is simply a situation that requires attention, a challenge that invites a response. It is neither good nor bad until we choose how to meet it. The fear we attach to problems often makes them heavier than they really are. Fear magnifies the difficulty, turns a small obstacle into a mountain, and makes us believe we cannot climb. But when we set aside fear, when we look at the problem with calm eyes, we see that it is not as impossible as we thought. History gives us many examples. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times while trying to create the electric light bulb. Each failure could have been seen as a problem too big to overcome. But Edison did not fear the problem. He said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that do not work." That attitude, the courage to see problems as steps on the path, turned failure into success. Imagine if he had been afraid and stopped. Our world would be darker, both literally and metaphorically. We can also look at more personal stories. Consider someone who loses their job. At first, the fear of the problem feels overwhelming. How will I survive? How will I support my family? Yet for many, that very problem becomes the doorway to a new beginning, to a career they never would have tried if not forced by circumstance. The problem, instead of destroying them, reshapes their destiny. Fear makes us stop at the first door. Courage lets us walk through it. To live without fear of problems, we need a new mindset. Instead of asking, "Why me?" we can ask, "What can I learn?" Instead of saying, "This is the end," we can say, "This is the beginning of a new chapter." Problems are not punishments, they are teachers. Every problem holds a lesson. Some lessons are about patience, some about creativity, some about humility, and some about resilience. But every lesson adds to our strength if we are willing to face it. Practical steps help as well. When a problem comes, pause, breathe. Do not rush into panic. Write the problem down in clear words. Many times, when we see the problem on paper, it becomes smaller and more manageable. Break it into parts. What can I solve now? What must wait? What help can I ask for? This process takes the power away from fear and gives it back to us. Another step is to remember past problems we already survived. Every person listening today has already overcome countless difficulties. The proof that you can handle problems is that you are still here, still alive, still moving forward. Let that memory give you courage. Philosophy and spirituality also teach us not to fear problems. The Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece said that we should not worry about what we cannot control. If something is beyond our power, fear will not help. But if something is within our power, then fear still will not help. Only calm action will. The Buddha taught that suffering is part of life, but through wisdom and mindfulness, we can transform suffering into compassion and freedom. These teachings remind us that problems are not curses. They are invitations to grow wiser and deeper. At the heart of this message is freedom. Fear of problems enslaves us. It makes us prisoners in our own minds. We imagine the worst before it even happens. We stop living fully because we are waiting for trouble. But core,